After you have your spiritual awakening, there's a lot of stuff that starts happening to you. And the thing that I noticed more than anything was the things that have come to the top of my head or come into my mind that I always knew were right, but they were always crushed out of me by people around me or by society, by education, by schooling, by family, friends, whatever, by normal social conditioned beliefs that have run through our societies for hundreds of years. And that's what I think, or that's what I know a spiritual awakening is to be, is that some people think that you tend to find stuff, you add something to yourself, that you become someone else. It doesn't really work like that. What you find happens is that stuff drops off of you. So your internal beliefs, the generational beliefs that have been handed down to you from parents and grandparents and stuff, they fall away. And after they fall away, there you are. You become exposed once those things fall away from you. And it's really quite incredible. But what that does leave is an empty shell. Because all those beliefs that you had before, to some degree, they felt like an identity. So you'd live up to those beliefs that you had that were installed in you. Now, those beliefs could be, let's keep it really simple. Those beliefs could be something like, I remember once my granddad saying to me, get yourself a trade. People will always need tradesmen. I listened to that and I got myself a trade. And I've been miserable ever since. However, I got that trade, but at least it was something that I was living up to, which was living up to that trade. Now, if you multiply that onto a surface of loads and loads and loads of different beliefs that we might have, it could be stuff that your family might have said to you. If you're women, you've got to have a child before you're 35, or you've got to be in a relationship and married before you're 30. If you're a guy, it's like, oh, you've got to be able to have a stiff upper lip and never show your emotions. Whatever those beliefs were, you'd kind of lived the person that it was who could live up to those beliefs. Albeit that they might all be false and all be phony according to who you really are. So once the spiritual awakening starts happening, that's what I was going to say. As that's all happening and you're living it up to those beliefs, if you look really, really carefully, deep down underneath your belief in those beliefs, you'll see that you never really had belief in them. And another little example, going back to my granddad saying, get the trade. So I got the trade. I always knew I didn't want to do that. But I always put the fault of me not wanting to do it down to me being lazy. It wasn't. It was the real me, the surface me, the depth me, trying to shout out, don't do that. You don't want to do that. You're just listening to what other people are saying and what you think would look good in society. I.e. having a trade and having a bit of money and be looking like a stable guy. But all it inevitably done was lead me down a path of something that I was totally miserable with, jumping in and out of different jobs all over the place, doing the same kind of trade, chasing after money, drinking lots, partying lots, sleeping around lots, and living a life that wasn't very fluid to me and thinking that I was having fun. But all I was actually doing was escaping the reality of how shit my life had become as a tradesperson, which I was totally miserable doing. And just by the way, got nothing wrong with being a tradesman, absolutely nothing wrong. But it didn't suit me. It's like if you're someone who loves playing tennis and you get forced to play football, which you've got absolutely no interest in. So that's all it is. And nothing wrong with it. But what happens is, as those beliefs, that can crush you enough in life, so it can lead you down a path of so much frustration that you get to a point where eventually you crack. You burst with that. And that's what happened to me. Was one day my mind just split. I become suicidal. My mind just split, and something happened that felt, which I now know to be the spiritual awakening, but it was quite intense, quite powerful. That all of my identities fell away. So now I sit here, very comfortable, very calm. I'm at peace mentally, but I'm not at peace with the person that I should be, because I'm not quite sure who I should be, because all of those old beliefs have now fallen away. But the beautiful side of that, and the beautiful side of thinking through a spiritual kind of mindset, is that now I'm at a place where I'm like, okay, I really have an empty canvas. I really do have a blank canvas. And I have a wonderful way of looking at my situation and the world now. And it's because it's something that keeps me very comfortable, even though I'm very uncomfortable. So uncomfortable in terms of my living situation and money, finances and that kind of stuff. It's uncomfortable. There's no two ways about it. But I'm very comfortable in that environment because I kind of feel for the first time ever that I'm strong, like here, I'm strong to my core. And what that is all those layers, all those beliefs that I thought I was believing in, they fell away and there I was. So suddenly now I'm the guy that was left behind when I was a child. And now it's up to me to find those things that I love and like doing. And that's where it can leave you very frustrated because everything's new. It's all a learning process. Everything is now new and a learning process, which is wonderful. But in the meantime, as you're trying to find out what it is that you like and what you love doing, other parts of your life are kind of falling away as they are with mine. And it's a very difficult path to navigate. And that's why I started wanting to do this YouTube channel. Because I know at the minute I'm a little bit all around the houses, a little bit all over the place. But then so is life. So is a spiritual awakening. They are all over the place. They're not direct. And that's the idea of these videos, is that anyone watching it, anyone struggling with their spiritual awakening, or anyone struggling who's down and feels stuck and doesn't know where they're going in life, it's for those people so that they know they're not alone with that. But it's okay to not know what you're doing. It's perfectly fine. It's only something that another stupid belief that we have in society, that we've got to live life in a certain way and have certain rules about it. No, it's okay to be fucking shit sometimes. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to not have the greatest job. It's okay to not be the best looking person or be slightly overweight or not be the fittest. It's when those things start impacting your life that they send you so far down into a depressive spin that you have inappropriate thoughts about yourself, or they become very destructive to yourself and those around you. That's when it becomes a problem. And it also becomes a problem if you hang on to it and you want to spend your life living like that because that's all you think that you're capable of being and that's all you feel like you deserve having. Then it's a problem. But it's okay to go through spells in life where you're not feeling great, where you don't have all the answers, where you don't know everything there is to know. Sometimes you just need to take some time out, sit alone and let life run through you. Let your thoughts and feelings run through your head. Because like I said in the last video, and I say this all the time, I love it. We are just part of the Big Bang that happened 13.8 billion years ago. And here we are for a few years and then we vanish. I remember reading somewhere, and this was brilliant. I can't remember where I read it, but I remember reading it and it stayed with me. 100 years ago, no one knew who I was. 100 years from now, no one will know who I am. What's anything really matter? We've just got to be here and have fun. And in the meantime, we need to earn money because we need to eat, which is a shame. It's a real shame that life is like that. However, that's just the way that things work, and I understand that. So but the idea of, with me now wanting to earn money, I want to earn money in a different sense. I'm not after, the only reason I was going to say I'm not after money that I could change the world with, but actually I would like that. But it's not something that I'm chasing for a personal pleasure. It's something that I would like because then I can give back, particularly on the homeless front. There's a big, strong point of mine. I'm an ex-soldier, and 84% of people that you see sleeping on the streets are ex-soldiers. That's a real harsh reality, and that's something that needs changing. But I digress slightly there. But the part of what I was saying is, I'm aware we need money because we need to eat and we need to pay our bills. That's all we're really earning money for. That's all we really need money for, is to eat and pay the rent. So how much do we actually need? Yet we keep striving and striving and striving to earn thousands upon thousands upon thousands, just so that really, if you look deep down inside yourself, it's so that we can impress other people. It's so that we look great for them, because we think that looking great in their eyes will then in turn make us feel great. But it doesn't. Hence why we get so many singers and artists and famous people that are rich and that stuff who unfortunately end their lives. You have to get the foundations right first. You can't build a very strong structured house if you don't put the foundations in the ground first. If you build it on sand, it will just collapse. If you build it on strong, based out concrete foundations, it will last. And that's what we have to start seeing in our life. That's what we have to start getting through in schools. And that's what we have to start putting into our children. Learn you first. Learn you first, and then the rest of the world is yours, because you know how to navigate you in whatever environment you're in. Wow, this video really did just go around the houses, didn't it?